The Acolyte Episode 5 returns to the aftermath of the Force explosion that finally brought the Dark Master into action. Osha wakes up and not only sees the Jedi fighting the Dark One, but also the jamming of two lightsabers, an event that will happen frequently from now on and seems unique in the Star Wars world, especially in this mass appearance, and that raises the question: are the dark powers now that strong, or is this simply a convenient device to let him fight that many powerful Jedi? Then the Dark One with his strange sadomaso mask-like helmet and the red lightsaber speaks like Darth Vader, maybe confirming my thoughts in the first review that we will get to know something about the Sith origin. Meanwhile, every scene that you can see and that takes place on the very same planet, space and time is introduced by one of those well-known Star Wars transitions, even though neither time has passed nor the location has changed. It's just like an inflational overdose, maybe seen as a fan service and reminder of the good old times, but using it in that way in one single episode without any reason and just breaking the action feels not only random but completely unmotivated, and in the end stupid, cause they seem to do it without logic and need. May, who just wanted to turn over to the Jedi side in the last episode, is then caught by the young Jedi Padawan who manages to handcuff her, even though she uses her trick knives. So the young pupil reaches what all the other experienced Jedi could not accomplish. And this diminishes the power of the Jedi Masters, who are not strong or should be in the position to teach seemingly. Some lightsaber jamming later, Sol sends Osha to the ship together with Yord. Then they go on fighting, and you start to ask yourself, will the whole episode be dedicated to this one confrontation with the Dark Master? The answer is yes, and one even starts to think why they are again not trying to push the story, but take all the time they have to rest on a single event that turns out to be not worth it. Cause in this episode we will finally find out who the Dark Master is, and funny as it may seem, yes, it is not worth it. But first, Yord and Osha, who were sent away to the ship, cause she is a civilian, though she was even a Padawan and always part of the hunt for May, turn around cause Osha says the Dark One will kill all, which is neither breaking news nor hard to guess before, and Yord seems to realize that this may actually be true, keeping the audience in awe and amazement why they never thought of that in the beginning, when everything the Dark One wanted was to kill the Jedi. Are they really all nuts, not only Yord but Sol as well? Some lightsaber jamming later, the Dark One parries one lightsaber strike with his helmet, which is rather unique, and draws a little lightsaber knife. That's cute. There might be more lightsaber weapons to come in the future, like axes or maces, I fear, cause seemingly this is the kind of invention that normally the whole creative power goes into, like in The Last Jedi. And then there's the reveal. He drops the helmet, and it is the one guy that always tried to help May by her evil plans and was stupidly trapped the episode before, left hanging in the trees by her. And he says he is a Sith. And his motivation is that he wants a pupil, an acolyte. Everything in the dialogue is right into the face, and all are just stupid things, as if they would explain anything. But the only thing that it is achieved by it is underwhelming the audience. Even if you kept watching all the way until now, although the plot was rather boring, and even in episode 5 we still know nothing about any character, you might just enjoy the Star Wars topic. But now it's just like even the last thing one was hoping for, and that is the Dark Sith, was the weakest of all resolutions. And in every episode we had weak solutions that were all destroying the own suspense and answering all questions in the easiest way. By the way, Yord always shown as a dummy, gets killed, making his death not tragic or only in the way of the tragedy of a fool. I never knew why they did not give him a proper identity. Then the Sith loses against Sol, but of course, even now, he mustn't kill him like the bad guy says. So Osha sacrifices her little droid, whose light attracts the swamp creatures that take him with them. Finally, after people tranquilize each other out of the only reason so that the others can talk with each other, wake up, tranquilize the next one, and then go on with the talking, May and Osha talk, embrace, and May accuses the Jedi again, although we have already seen that she caused the whole burning with all its victims. It's not that there is an open question like there was before episode 3, but since May and the Sith tell Osha that one cannot trust Sol, they try to still make this a suspense arc. May then cuts her hair and dresses as Osha, but then follows Sol in his ship instead of killing him, all the way of walking where he turned his back to her all the time. And even why she is doing it makes no sense somehow. After she wanted to be a good girl, after her false friend was disguised as the Sith Lord, after she knows that she cannot hope for forgiveness and that he wants a new acolyte. In the end, the Dark One lands on the ground, having killed all swamp creatures, and we are left with some questions, but a rather unsatisfied feeling, asking oneself what this was all about. And that is what is so typical for this series. Where are we going? Which story do they want to tell? Are the raised questions even questions? Will there be solutions? And after this episode, one really asks the foremost, do they care? Because being underwhelmed when you have no expectations anyhow makes this hard to believe. Staying true to one's own story, no matter what it is, would be the first thing. And then to answer all the stuff properly at least, surprisingly and clever at best. But I fear that most will just be left open, forgotten in the next episode, like it was done in the last 5 ones. There are 3 to come, and I hope that they will not spend them with one single event all the time. I really want things to get going, cause the show has no drive until now and never made one really care. Is Sol guilty of anything? Didn't we get the answer in episode 3? If so, all the questions raised are plain utter nonsense and will make people angry when they are not answered. If not, there will have to be a good resolution, not like the one we got now in the episode, not first choice, not just a surprise without any fundament. My verdict still is like when we started. It's not a bad show, it's just boring, and this makes bad ideas stick out more cause the audience will focus more on them when the story and the writing or the action does not take it away to make one forget about the rest. So stay tuned for the next episode of The Acolyte and the stuff to come here on this channel.